Hello, career women stepping outside of your comfort zone. That is our topic. We are stepping outside of our comfort zone. Welcome. We are live, everyone. Greetings, salutations, all those great things. Welcome to today's session. We are going to really dive in. We're going to dive in and then we're going to get on out. Dive in, get on out. Ha! That's what we're going to do. Literally, we are talking about career women embracing, going beyond our boundaries. Why stepping outside of our comfort zone is so crucial for leadership growth. And I say our comfort zone because that's in me, it's including me as well. It's actually including everyone. It just transcends. We gotta start being okay and break that fear. I know lots of people have all of these beautiful different acronyms for fear. Realistically, you all, we have to go through that. We have to ditch it, be okay if it wants to hang off, shake it off, do what you need to do. I know fear stops a lot of us doing things that are outside of our comfort zone, but if you really want to be able to break through and shatter that glass, it's imperative. Okay. Now, with all that being said, I am speaking to the mid career woman. Anyone can catch anything, you can glean, you're going to pick up something. I am called to that mid career woman. I want you to be able to level up to an executive level position. And so I've already told you what we're talking about. We really are going to go in on why it's crucial for you to step outside of that comfort zone. Our three talking points for this or today is going to be fostering adaptability, expanding skill sets, and building resilience. And so before we jump in, let me make sure I welcome everyone. I hope that you all had a fantastic day. If you didn't, you still have time to have a fantastic day. I want to make sure we shout anyone out. Listen, if you're listening live, let us know. Shout your name. Tell us where you're listening from. We'd love to be able to acknowledge you. Also, if there is something resonating, let us know that as well. And if you're catching the replay, the same. We are going through the comments, we're watching. We want to make sure that we're providing you content that really is near and dear to you. And so, definitely, whether it's live, whether it's the replay, let us know. We would love to hear from you. And so, with that being said, I want to share a super, super quick story. So, hopefully, this will be able to resonate with you. And if you can just imagine, maybe let's just say this seasoned IT manager who felt stuck for a decade in her role. She's competent, comfortable. How many of you out there have been in your role for maybe 5 years and you're like, oh, I got this down. I'm doing well. But you're still like, but could I be doing more? Should I be doing more? What would that look like? Well, for this particular person, confident, but she saw no career growth. A decade, no career growth. If you imagine when you're working, sometimes you don't realize a month has gone, 6 months is gone. You're looking up, you're like, oh, it's been a year. Then it's been 2 years. Then it's been 3 years. And where does it stop? When does it stop? When does the career growth begin? And so, this is what was going on for this particular person. She saw an opportunity. So, IT professional, there was this kind of risky new project where she's like, I'm really not the risk person. But she stepping out there, taking a risk. And this for her did it. It was a project that had a whole lot of challenges, and she was able to stick with them. She was able to conquer that fear. She volunteered, and then she learned new things along the way. The project was successful. And when things like that happen and projects are successful, guess who is looking? The senior leader, the leadership team, they're looking. And for her, thank goodness she decided to do that project. She stepped out on faith. Was it scary? Absolutely. I don't know anybody that won't tell you when you're doing something new, and there's studies around it, and there's a whole methodology to it. How, when you're starting something new, you're all excited, you got warm and fuzzies, and you're just like, yes, yes, yes. And then you start getting into it, and then you're like, hold on, can I do this? Can I? This wasn't as easy as I thought. And then there's another stage that comes along with it where you're like, oh, hey, I got this. I don't need my supervisor's help very much, or I don't need another person's help very much. And then you're at the mastery. And a lot of times, what happens is we get stuck. Once we get those butterflies and we're like, yes, we like this, and then it becomes a little bit challenging. A lot of times we drop off right there. We don't push through to be able to see the end result if you keep working. But again, that's a whole nother, that wasn't even in the that wasn't even in this that wasn't even in this this talking point. But it's important to know there is, like, you gotta just keep going. And so for this particular story, it really illustrates how, when you're able to venture outside of your comfort zone, that could be your turning point. And we want you to have your turning point. We really do. And so, our first point for today is going to be fostering adaptability. In an ever changing business landscape, adaptability is key. I don't think that, well, I don't know, but in general, I would like to think there is probably not very many jobs around now that don't require this skill set, adaptability. However, everyone does not do adaptability well. And so I want you to be able to do adaptability well. There are new technologies, there's trends, there's competitors, and everything is emerging, and we're looking at the new. And you need to be able to pivot, you need to be able to turn around, you need to know when to look up, look down, left, right, whatever it is. And you need to be able to do that quickly, not with lots and lots of complaints and then do it. We need you to be able to pivot, to move. Imagine, like, if you're training, there are some things when you're training, you're going just like this, like this. Like, think about the tires. Think about, I don't know, all these things are popping in my head, y'all. I think I must be getting a little bit excited because I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. You remember when you're doing, and they're just ways that you can do it. And I know that adaptability sometimes for some can be a struggle. I just don't want that to be for you. Stepping outside of your comfort zone really will force you to adapt to the new environment. It's going to force you to take on the challenge, to take on any risk that may be involved, and that's okay. It's about being flexible and just to be able to be responsive, not negatively responsive, but just be able to be responsive to change. Qualities like this is what's going to help define you as a leader. And to be able to foster adaptability, you can seek out these new experiences. Again, take on these projects outside of your area of expertise, and always, 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 always be willing and go seek out feedback. Seek out feedback, you all. That's the only way that you're going to be able to continue to know what's going on, to know how your project is being perceived, to be able to get better at something. Seek out feedback. And we've done lots of parts about feedback. So definitely look through the catalog of what's out there on YouTube so you can, if you struggle in that area, I know that we've spoken about feedback several times. Second point, expanding your skill set. Stretch assignments, whatever it is going to be for you, a assignment is a great way to expand your skill set. It allows you to be able to see, like it could be a new work environment, it could be a different business line, it could be a new product, whatever it is. A stretch assignment is a great way, but you have to expand your skill set, whether it's a stretch, whether you're taking courses, whether there is a new technology, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you're always acquiring new skills that are going to help you to stay abreast, and it'll also help you to set yourself apart. And think about it, the more effective that you can be in all of these different diverse situations when you're putting yourself in, you're not only expanding your skill set, you're also fostering that adaptability. And it really does enhance your leadership versatility. You do not want, or I hope you don't want to necessarily just be a one trick type of person. I want you to be able to go and have many different tools in your tool belt. And I know I went from one trick to tool belt. Okay, forgive me. So, definitely, it's so important to expand your skill set. You want to think about cross training, cross functional training. You can think about getting mentored by more experienced colleagues, whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be super expensive to do this. Sometimes, yes, you will need to be able to make sure that you are there may be a cost to a course or something like that, but there are other ways that you can do this that is not so costly. And again, it's really important as a leader that you are expanding your skill set. And then we have our third talking point, which is building resilience. All of these things will help you if you're fostering adaptability, expanding your skill set. That is really also helping you to build your resilience. But every time, and listen, every time you start embracing the unfamiliar, you're building resilience. It's not just about taking risk. You are building resilience when you are bracing something that's unfamiliar, overcoming when you're in discomfort, when it's new challenges. This is what's going to help you. Listen, in order to build resilience, in order to build resilience, you're going to have something that is pushing you in a different direction. You're going to have some type of tension. You don't just build resilience by frolicking, through some daisies, hey, it's beautiful, and I'm building resilience. No, normally building resilience comes from, oh man, that was a difficult project, but I didn't complain. Oh, wow, that was tough. It took me a minute to figure that out, but I was able to collaborate with this person, and that's building resilience. So notice you have to kind of put yourself in a cooker pressure. I got all of these analogies today. Like a cooker pressure, you gotta be able to do that. That is what helps you to build resilience. So remember, if you're frolicking, I'm not mad at the frolic. I'm just saying That's not building resilience. It just isn't. To build resilience, you can practice mindfulness, meditation, develop that network, colleagues, friends, things that you are able, people that you're able to bounce things off of, to be able to also make sure that you're in a physical and emotional health is extremely important, and that is part of this process. Taking care of yourself, making sure that you are in a good place, but being in a good place is good. Building resilience sometimes you're just adding a little bit of something, whether that's a little bit of tension. What keeps coming to my head is really like exercise. When you're talking about building muscle, that's what you're doing. So you have to, one, make sure that you are prioritizing your well-being, and when you're prioritizing your well being, I want you to also start when you're stepping outside of that comfort zone, when you're taking on the new challenges, when you're being adaptable, all in well, because again, we do want your health and wellness to be a priority. But all of this helps you to build that resilience. It's going to help you to be better equipped. It's going to help you to better manage things that come your way. And people are watching you, especially if you're a leader. You're also able to teach others to do the same thing. And we want to make sure that when we are leading by example, that we are leaving a good example, and we need to leave good examples, okay? And so, with that being said, I definitely want to invite you all to join our Facebook group, Next Level Progression Alliance. There, whether you want to be a leader, you are a leader, it's all about leadership, it's all about support. And that is definitely where we can come offline and we can support one another. I also want to invite you to our master class that is coming up in February, and it's all about setting those ambitious goals. You're going to leave that class with your goals set. You're going to leave that class with knowing your personal branding for business purposes. You are going to leave that class with tangible information. And so I'm going to drop this in the chat. Make sure you sign up for that master class. It's February 24th. I've dropped it. You can sign up via Eventbrite. There's only a limited amount of people, so definitely please sign up. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to get down to business with you so that you can change your 2024. You do not have to have the same 2023 as you did for 2024. Let's create something new for you. You deserve to advance on purpose. Your career is in your hands. And so I want you to shine. I want you all to grow. And I want you to go after that big thing, that big promotion. And so, with all of that being said, stepping outside of your comfort zone is a catalyst. It's a catalyst for growth, for adaptability, for skill enrichments, and resilience. All of these are such critical components of being that shining star, that excellence and leadership. By embracing the unfamiliar, you're not just preparing yourself for unknowns of tomorrow, but you're setting this precedent in your leadership career of innovation, courageousness, and just being able to be ready to face whatever challenges that come your way. And so, the story that we had, if she had not volunteered to do that assignment, she wouldn't have had that such extraordinary opportunity. And she wouldn't have senior leaders looking at her like that for her promotion. And so it is so important that we step outside of our comfort zone. I want you to be able to embrace that. I want you all to be able to grow as a leaders. And as always, if you've been with me, I always end with a quote. And so this quote is definitely hitting every cylinder. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Y'all heard that? Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I want you to live life to the fullest. And I also want you to live life to the fullest in your career. And so definitely join me next week for more just tips and insight. You deserve nothing but the best. It is my goal to make sure, and especially if that's what you want to be able to move up in your career, I want to help you get there. I want you to be able to take your career to newer heights and just I want you to start playing. Let's get into the big league, Minor league has its day. Let's get to the big league, y'all. You all take care.